What's up, everybody? It's the Brownwater Banter podcast. I am Jared Seymour, and I am sitting here today with the man, the myth, the legend, Joey Cates.
In some people's mind.
What's up, dude? What you doing?
What's up, brother?
You doing good?
Yeah, man. You?
Yeah, I'm doing real great, man. This episode of the podcast, I want to talk. Some people may have noticed that you've been on a few episodes. You were one of the original OGs on the high school bro edition. I don't remember what episode number that was.
Back in your kitchen.
Yeah, back before. Ooh, shit! I just hit the table. Back before we even had a studio, and I was recording these in my kitchen. You came on with all my high school buddies, and we talked. We bullshitted around. But you've been on some episodes since then.
Correct.
Help remind me. You came on. I think the first one was a Biloxi boat show, right?
Yeah, we did a couple weigh-ins. We did the high school weigh-in.
The Bass-tastic.
Bass-tastic.
But we didn't put that out as an episode. So if you're somebody that that only follows the podcast through at like the podcast app, Apple Podcasts or whatever, you didn't hear that because that was a 2-hour.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
We did the two weigh-ins. We did that one. We did the boat show weigh-in.
We did the Bass-tactic weigh-in.
It's hard to say.
It is very hard to say for me. Back in 19.
2 years ago.
No. I think it was 19.
Was it?
Yeah, it was a year ago. We did that one. Yeah. I don't remember if the boat weigh-in was after that. I think it was.
The boat show was after that.
Okay, then we did the Biloxi boat show weigh-in after that.
Right.
Big shout out to Richard Parker on the Bass-tactic weigh-in. Loved working with him. We've done it twice.
Good guy.
Yep. Everybody at the Biloxi boat show, which was our second weigh-in that we covered.
Correct.
Live streamed.
Yeah.
To our Facebook page.
At the Coliseum.
Big shout out to all those guys, and we're looking to do that coming up here in a couple months.
Absolutely.
As well. Big shout out to them. And then again, for the second time, we did Bass-tactic with Richard here just a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
How long ago was it?
Maybe a month.
Maybe a month ago. I'm terrible with time. Did that weigh-in it was in D'Iberville at the Scarlet Pearl.
Correct.
Had a lot of good traction on that. We live streamed, as a matter of fact, on that one to our Facebook page. So you've been on a few other things, and reason I bring all that up is for the people that are listening is because Joey's going to come on board now with the podcast full time. So he's going to be a 50% stakeholder in everything Brownwater
stock. Yeah, Brownwater Banter now.
He put in a significant amount of money to buy into this. What was it, about $50?
If that.
If that. To come
case
on
of beer.
A case of beer to come on board and be a part of it. And we've already done some stuff, some work behind the scenes. We've developed, put together, whatever you want to call it, the website.
Correct.
Right, and that's for the people that are listening. That's brownwaterbanter, all one word.com.
Yep.
You can go there now. It's still a work in progress.
You can buy a shirt.
Yeah, I was gonna get to that. You can go on there. We have all of our video episodes linked, which for people that have been following the show for a little while, I didn't start doing video on these until like number 17 or something. Right. All the other previous ones were just audio. But the ones that were video are on the website. You can see it there. You can also find all of the audio, every single episode that's on there. You can listen to the audio versions of it. And like Joey just mentioned, right there on the homepage is a link to buy our first product, our first, if you're a fan of the show, thing that you can it helps support us and help support the show, is our logo t-shirt. Yeah, as Joey's pointing up here, and this is the first episode that we've got with this hanging up in the background.
Yeah, it's cool.
You mentioned on the first episode that you were on, we talked a lot about vocational and technical training.
Right.
Your paying gig is that
real job.
Your real job is you work at the school, and you're the what's the official title? The vote, not they call it
construction. What you want?
What do you call the pro
CTE now?
Okay, yeah, we called it VOTEC when we were in school, right?
It's career technical education is the new term for it.
Okay,
VOTEC is the old hashtag,
right? The premillennial term for it. But you teach that class at Harrison Central,
D'Iberville.
I thought, okay, it's D'Iberville School System.
D'Iberville School System.
Okay.
The main CTE building is located at Harrison Central, but we have our own branch at D'Iberville. We have 2 classes CTE at D'Iberville. We still fall under the CTE program at Harrison Central.
Okay. Yeah. And and that in and of itself is a great thing. There's so many articles and so many people talking right now about how technical careers,
no hands. Nobody wants to do the dirty work anymore.
which then creates a demand for it, right?
Correct.
Which then is a great thing for kids coming up.
I think this is what we covered on the first podcast. It was
that episode, yeah.
everybody go to college, no
Right.
matter what you do.
Accrue all this debt.
Right, get all this student loans, come out with a underwater basket degree, go to work, you can't pay your bills, it takes you 10, 20, 30 years to pay off your student loans,
Right.
and you're working your whole life to dig out of a hole.
Right. But you're teaching kids actual skilled labor
Right.
jobs.
When my kids come out, they go straight to the job force, they go straight to work. Ingalls, Chevron, I mean, all these big companies, that's what they need. They need people to turn wrenches.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That piece of paper means a lot to some people, but
Right.
I mean,
It's not the only way to make money
correct.
for a career.
And having a skill never leaves you. You know what I'm saying? Like everything
It makes you
in your
marketable.
work, everything in your life is going to break at some time. House is going to break, car's going to break. Knowing how to do that and work with your hands and fix that is something. I mean, it's worth to me more than that piece of paper. You know what I'm saying? Being able to handle your own. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Not have to call on somebody every time something breaks.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
I agree with that. And to have people, and you mentioned again, people go back and listen to that episode too if you want. It was a good one. It's we're joking around.
We were drinking whiskey.
We
then,
were,
too.
and we're drinking whiskey now.
Yeah.
But to be in demand, to have people that call you businesses, big business. I'm not
Absolutely.
talking Chevron
Huge businesses
that say, "Hey Joey, we need workers. We need skilled people."
immediately.
Excuse me. To come out and do these types of trades, I mean that is, if you're a young adult or an older adult and you're looking for a career, I mean
That's where it's at.
Tech,
And you take my class, and I mean, you automatically qualify from Mississippi Gulf Coast Community College for a technical scholarship. 2 years free there in a technical field.
right?
All right, so you go there for free, and then I mean, Ingalls is beating down my doors left and right
Right.
for just getting people to show up to work.
Right.
That have some kind of skill with their hands.
Right.
And
And we say all that. I mention all that to say that you made that. You made the plaque right there with the logo on it.
Our fancy pieces of equipment that we plugged
Right.
into. Yeah,
right.
absolutely.
Right. And
yeah.
it looks great, man. That's our logo.
My kids
And
do crazy stuff.
They
man.
do, man. These
Yeah.
are high school kids that are
Right.
able to learn how to run a machine like that and, take a piece of plywood and turn it into something like
Yeah,
that.
they're always.
And selfishly, that's the logo that's on our shirt. That
That's
is for
it.
sale on the website.
It is it.
So that's what we've been doing behind the scenes, Joey and I. But so with you, and I have also formed an LLC to kind of
Correct.
make it legit, right? To
We
make this
real deal.
the real deal. We got it.
Yeah.
We're state sponsored.
You pay taxes.
We can pay taxes just like every other working stiff.
Yeah.
But for the people listening, and even for me, I mentioned this before we started recording. We haven't had this conversation yet. Why did you want to come on? Why did you want to do this?
Well, I
honestly.
mean, like you said, you started. It was your brainchild. You had it going on, and then I was sitting there, and I think it was a tournament that we didn't fish. Or I didn't fish, and I didn't know what was going on in that tournament. And I'm texting my buddies who's on the leaderboard, blah blah
Right.
blah, and it just we need to live stream these, and that's what I text you. We need to live stream these
Right.
weigh-ins. You know what I'm saying? We need to do all these weigh-ins that are going on. There's a big opportunity out there for somebody to put that out there. You know what I'm saying? And I text you. It's like, hey man, let's get into hunting fishing. Let's
Right.
do the weigh-ins. Let's bring these charter boat captains in. Let's make it a one-stop shop for fishing, hunting,
The
on the Gulf
outdoors.
Coast.
And
Yeah,
the
everything.
Yep.
Now, saying that we want to be that person to where everybody comes to, that's crazy, but
No,
we
it
want to
ain't.
put it all there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I want to. My vision of Brown Water is to have a website or a place people can come to if they need a charter boat to go tuna fishing. We
Right.
hook them up with Joe Allen. If they would need
Right.
to go to speckled trout, if they need to go tarpon, if they need to go wherever they're going, we want them come to us first. You know what I'm saying?
We'll be a funnel.
Right.
to-
Yeah.
to
we're
get you there.
we're that. We want to be Google.
Right. Well, of our little area, right?
Yeah.
Of the Gulf Coast, which
Correct.
is not a little area actually, because and I mentioned this earlier to you when we were talking before we started recording. If people that listen to this, you go back to episode 1, I kind of did lay that out. The whole reason behind the name Brown Water Banter,
Right.
banter meaning to just joke and have fun
Yeah.
talking with people, right? But the Brown Water specifically for me. If you look out like the Gulf Coast here in Mississippi, right? the water's brown.
It's got a nice chocolate milk.
Right, it definitely does. And I got
Yeah.
pictures on our Instagram page that highlight that. I'm proud of that. I mean,
Where
it's
we
not,
grew up.
Yeah, you're not going to maybe take a vacation down here. People do to
Yeah.
go swimming on the beach. They do that, and by all means do. But our water doesn't look like Destin.
No, it's not.
And we're not trying.
It's not what you're going to get.
Right, we're not trying to be that. So brown water there, and then I think as you mentioned earlier, we are sipping on a bit of whiskey tonight, and that is a slang term for at some time.
Correct.
He was on the brown water. He was drinking brown water, right?
In which we both partake
correct
regularly.
Correct. It's a slang term for whiskey. And then one of the other things I mentioned in the episode was coffee as well. I'm not a huge coffee aficionado, but if you don't drink liquor, you have a sip of coffee while we do these chats, right? Yeah. I do like coffee, though.
I drink it every morning.
I had some killer espresso in New Orleans, not to sound bougie, but it was fantastic. It'll change your life.
Just give me black coffee.
Right. But so from the onset of this, with the brown water referring to the Gulf of Mexico, I always had the outdoors in mind.
Right.
But you and I talking or whatever, and you saying that there is this need or this missed opportunity, people aren't highlighting at least in depth.
You have a huge fishing and hunting community down here, boating, everything.
That's what we all love to do.
There's not. I mean, there's a couple places where you can go and maybe find tournaments and dates and stuff like that.
Right.
But having a one-stop shop to where
we can talk about it.
Yeah, it's all there, and
we can bring Joe Allen in here like we did and talk to him about his tuna charter.
Correct.
In a long format.
Right.
And
have it all local. Everything here local, and a lot of people don't know that.
Right.
Like they come to Biloxi for casinos, but hey, while you're at the casino, go take a charter.
That's right.
Go catch a tarpon. Go catch some speckled trout. You know what I'm saying? Go on a duck hunt. Go kill a deer. You know what I'm saying? That's all that stuff that we wanted to, or my vision was to have brown water turn into.
And we're both born and raised Mississippi boys, and I'm proud of that. But when you start talking about the outdoors, I mean, man, Louisiana is right next door to us.
It's a huge mecca. It's sports' paradise.
Yeah, and I mean, I feel a big time, huge connection to that state. Yeah. Slidell, New Orleans, Venice, all the way down to Venice, Louisiana.
It is like us.
I haven't been to Venice a ton of times.
Yeah.
I've only ever been once down there fishing, but it just feels like home to me, even when I go there.
Same marsh, same dirty water, same thing that we live with every day.
Exactly, and so and for me, the Gulf, when I say the Gulf Coast, I usually mean Mississippi, but that spans from Texas to Florida.
Yeah.
Right? So there's a ton of people out there that I hope that you and I can speak to for whether it's their outdoor, or at least our interpretation or our little highlight of the outdoors that they can relate to. You know what I mean? And that's what we want to cover. That's what we want to do moving forward.
Correct.
And
if you're visiting here, if you're visiting Biloxi, if you're visiting our neck of the woods, come to us and figure out what's going on. Figure out what else you can do besides. No, we want you to come to casinos. We want you to have a great time.
We worked in the casino.
Yeah, we worked together in the casino.
Yeah.
It all affects our community when you come in.
Mm-hmm.
When you come in, you
come
don't
check
have
us
to be,
out.
Yeah,
and see
what's going on. Check our page out. See what's going on. See who's on it.
We've done. I've done before you came on, and this is not going to change. Politics. It's a huge.
You're better at politics than I am,
and that's fine. But I wouldn't say better. I'm no scholar for sure.
Right.
But I do like to talk about it because I think it's important.
Yes.
I think it means a lot. In the microcosm of your community, and then all the way stretched out to the president of the United States. So everything in between. And that's not going to change. We're going to continue to do that.
Yes.
You may see some episodes that it's only me.
Correct.
You may see some episodes that it's Joey, or there may be both of us. So we're gonna approach it in that manner. But I don't know. I'm excited about the future. I'm excited to see what we do. What do we got coming on the horizon? You mentioned we just
going
recently
to the boat show for sure
coming
in
up
February.
Yep.
We got a few big names on there. I don't want to spoil anything, but I think it's going to be big names.
People that are kind of doing what we're trying to do already,
and have a huge network built up already.
Right.
So hopefully, we get springboard. It's a springboard effect.
Right. And hopefully people that are listening to this show, we can turn them on to some other people that are doing again. To me, Louisiana is I wasn't born there. I'm not from there, and I don't claim to be. I don't speak like they do down there, but I freaking love that place, man. I love
awesome.
it. I love it. You know, and all the way over to Mobile. I don't
Texas,
know a lot
Florida.
about over that
Yeah.
way. I mean, I've been there obviously, but yeah, Texas, same thing. And then wherever the outdoors takes us. I mean,
Right, like you just got off a hunt in Texas.
out of Brady, Texas, man. You know, dude, I was so ready to start wearing Texas Lone Star
All
T-shirts
about
when I
it. You
left
carry
out of
guns
there.
everywhere.
You know, so anyway, that's what we want to do. That's what we
Yes.
want to highlight. That's what we're
Right.
going to take this. We're going to do a few things on this show, but I'm glad to have you on board with this, and I'm anxious to see where we take it. I think
it's
going
going to
to
be a good year.
Yeah,
This is going to be the first real year where we're
focused on it.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was fun and a hobby and something to do. Still going to be fun then, but
No,
we're going
it's
to take
still
it.
definitely gonna be fun, but
we're going to
treat
get in the ring with it this
That's
year.
right. We've and we can mention a couple of them. We got looking to talk to from Chris from
Speckled Truth.
that's one.
Yes.
And then also Fetters.
Chris Fetter, Seven Seas.
Yeah,
He's
so
coming in.
talk
Yeah.
about some like outboard motor maintenance and you know what it's like being in that business and how people can
It's crazy. I mean, and
keep
every
aspect of that.
just about every person that we do hunting and fishing wise is a family. You know what I'm saying? You
Connected in
can't,
some way, yeah.
You can't go
Yep.
run charters without having your motor running.
That's right.
And that's where this guy falls in. And you can't do this without having a bait shop. And
Yeah.
we've already done bait shop. You say all this is going to come into one big circle and hopefully end up on Brown Water Banter.
I love it, dude. I love it. And like we said, you know, we got the logo T-shirt. That's our first little like dabble into the
Fire.
business world. We need to make that post and share it.
Yeah.
If you're listening to this and you've been a fan already, or you're new to it and this is your first episode, we're at Brownwater B
Yes.
on pretty much all the social platforms right now.
With Instagram, Facebook, Twitter,
YouTube.
YouTube.
I just recently started us a TikTok account.
I don't know how to dance.
I haven't put any content out on that one yet.
We'll TikTok it too.
We're going to TikTok it. We'll figure it out. But yeah, the sky is the limit on this one for us. And the most important thing is that we're having fun doing it.
Yes.
All the conversations that I've already had so far have just been, they're fun. It's
Yes.
fun to do. It's a little bit of work, just like anything
Right.
else is in life.
It's kind of a job.
It is, and it's a time commitment, but I've thoroughly enjoyed it. And if you're listening, we'd love to hear any kind of feedback from the people.
And if you want to be on with us,
Shit, yeah.
find us. You know
Yep.
what I'm saying? It doesn't matter what you want to talk about. We'll talk about it all day. We'll bring
Yeah.
the whiskey.
These are just our I completely didn't mention that. I'm glad you said that. As brown water being a slang term for whiskey. Yeah.
Right. That's what we're getting into.
Yeah. We've already talked to a couple people.
Yes.
We won't say it just yet, just to make sure it doesn't,
Fall
that
through.
it happens, shit happens. But we're going to talk about whiskey on
Right.
this show a lot.
Common ground.
I've already learned a little bit, and we did in the same episode that we referenced with you the first episode you were on,
Right.
the high school bro edition. We tried to
bros.
decipher what whiskey and bourbon and all that means.
Yeah, we had a buddy who's slightly misinformed.
But he's a lot more
He
informed
is now.
and
He is
gonna,
now.
He's going to come on some of the future episodes that we have. We're going to try to educate some people on the difference between bourbons, whiskeys, and
Yeah,
this
'cause I don't
whiskey
know
and that. I'm learning. I mean,
I just drink it. Put it in there and drink it.
Speaking of that, this is going to be funny when we go back and look. What's your favorite whiskey of choice right now?
R&R Reserve.
That's documented.
Do not buy the black and yellow one, the regular, the OG. Stay away from that.
Yeah, that's terrible.
We had a blind taste test not too long ago.
We did actually,
And it soared.
In our small sample group, it didn't do terrible.
It didn't do the worst.
But Joey drinks Rich and Rare Reserve. It's $18 a bottle for what? A 50-gallon drum?
It's 70. You can buy a shipload of it for $18.
Yeah, but no, it's for a 1.75 liter.
I don't know.
It's a big bottle.
It's a big bottle. I can go grab it.
It's a blend. Is it Canadian?
I'm not gonna. Yeah, it's a Canadian blend. I was a big Crown guy, and
which is a Canadian.
and I was looking for something. Crown's expensive.
Well, wait, what's it? It's $23 a fifth.
I
It's
think
about
more
like
than
Jack
that.
Daniels, isn't it?
Yeah. And I went in one day and I was like, I think the liquor store that I went to was out of Crown, if that makes sense. Which I don't even think.
Yeah, that could be.
And he was like, "Try this. It's cheap." And it was the regular R&R, and I drank it, and it tastes like cat piss.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Oh God!" And then I went back in the same liquor store, and he was like, "Hey man, did you try that?" And I was like, "Yeah, it's terrible." He said, "Try this. It's not bad." And I was like, "Crap! I'm not gonna buy this huge bottle and then dump it down the drain." So I just got a little bitty pint of it, and I was like, that's not bad. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? No, don't get me wrong. This is not
high end.
$150 bottle of whiskey, but
Right.
when you throw it in there with the names that we just talked about, the Jim Beams, the Crowns, and stuff
Right.
like that, it holds its own.
Right. Which and again, this is one of the things that we're hopefully going to get into on the show is like you know, what the different types of whiskeys, the different levels as far as expense on whiskeys, and then do they hold up? I mean, there's been studies done with wine for sure. You can go look them up. That cost does not correlate with.
I mean, some of these
preference
bottles of whiskeys are crazy.
On blind taste testing alone. It's a very subjective thing, but I'd like to for us to be able to partner up with somebody and you know, get some whiskeys in here, do some tastings with some people, have some rotating guests come on and
that
talk
know more than us,
right? Well, definitely that know more than us, and then some average Joes that know as little
some
as we
people
do.
just buy an expensive bottle of whiskey just to say they bought an expensive bottle of
100%.
whiskey.
And hey, look, there's a lot of business opportunity in that, right? People want to pay a lot of money to say that they got something.
They want to be bougie.
So, you know, maybe one day we'll have a brown water
whiskey
bourbon or something.
Sweet.
Yeah, yeah. We got a distillery right over here in the Kill, Mississippi.
Know that guy.
Yeah, we're gonna reach out to him eventually and see if he'll come talk with us. I think it's some cool things that he's doing over there. So I don't know, a lot of opportunities for us.
Sky's the limit.
Yeah, exactly. Sky's the limit, and we're having a shit ton of fun doing it already. And we hope we bring people that are fans of the show that have been listening to us, stuff that you like. And like we mentioned earlier, please reach out to us if you're digging it, and let us know what you want to see more of. Ideas that we haven't thought of or whatever, and we'll definitely get it on.
And if you have an event, like if you have an event that needs to be live streamed, something like that, we can either dabble in that. You know what I'm saying?
We definitely have talked about getting on some of these bigger tournaments, right? And trying to live stream.
If you have a tournament, you want to get it out there, give us a call. Even if it's not a tournament, I mean, we'll live stream anything.
Yeah,
I mean, it's cool.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
And if you want to be a sponsor of the show,
Absolutely.
we haven't got into that yet, but that's definitely something that's coming. Reach out to us. Right now, we're cheap.
Yeah,
you know, because we're the new guys.
Free.
Not free. We're not gonna be free, but we're super cheap.
Okay.
You know, for sponsorships, right?
Yeah.
If they want to sponsor an episode
Sponsor.
of the show,
Absolutely. Yeah.
So anyway, but what else? Is there anything else we didn't cover? Anything you want to say? I mean,
no. Like I said, it's just getting everything in one spot. I think
right. An aggregate of all things, like
everything, hunting and fishing, everything from the coast, lighthouse, politics, everything in one spot. You know what I'm saying? We're trying to take over the world, but we're
definitely trying to take over the world. But you know,
it's
what is the world?
Rome wasn't built in a day.
That's right. That's right. We've already had a couple people, and I already mentioned, like I said, at Brownwater B on the social platforms. If you want to reach out to us, we've already had people that have, you know,
send us a message.
That we do these, do these things, and you put you put this content out there, and you don't know. I mean, you get analytics through Facebook and YouTube and stuff, but you don't know who's watching it. Specifically sometimes and who's not, but we've already had people reach out to us and say, hey, look, I saw you on Instagram, I saw what you're doing. Joe Allen, which was episode I think 25, was one of those people.
Right.
Side Bet Fishing Charters, go check him out.
Jeremy McHugh
send
us a message.
That's right. All the, some fishing charter guys that said, hey, we like what you're doing and we want to come on there and be a part of it because we appreciate you highlighting
local stuff.
And I hope that continues to grow because that really feels good, like when people notice what you're doing and appreciate it and get something out of it. So I hope we continue to do that.
And the difference between us is our stuff never goes away.
That's right. That's right. It stays on the
sponsorship. You know, you get a 30-minute commercial and it goes away. Our stuff's there until the internet. Until somebody finds something better than the internet.
Until Skynet takes over and kills us all.
Yeah,
so it doesn't.
Terminator.
I think that's a pretty good way to end it.
Yeah,
end it.
Good.
So, thanks for listening. This is a little bit quicker episode. Damn, this was 24-ish minutes already, 25-ish.
Yeah,
so you get that banter going.
Keep rolling,
and
baby.
you forget what time it is. Yeah. But we got we got somebody crashing us at the end. But it's thanks for listening, man. Everybody that did, check us out on all the social platforms as we mentioned. We really appreciate the support.
Yep.
And until the next one, we'll see you.
Yep.
And welcome Joey Cates aboard.
Help us, help you.
Thanks again.
Later.